Okay, so the question that we're looking at today is, what is your biggest worry?
Even though I'm young, my biggest worry is that I'm never going to have a family of my own because of how I look with my weight.
Not being on the right place on the life timeline. I'm the youngest in my family and still living at home when my brother and stepbrother have moved out. I feel a huge amount of pressure to be saving up to buy a house. There are still so many adventures I want to go on before I have a mortgage, but I feel like I'm disappointing my family.
Am I living my life? Did I fail? Is someone going to talk about their degree which I never got? Will I live to be an artist? I worry about it and it stops me from succeeding my dream. A paradox. I worry about living in a paradox. It happened to me a lot in my time at university, where I would look at the project I was doing and not think so good about it. But what you got to remember is that when you're doing a project, you're in it for a long period of time most of the time, and the more you're in it, the more you sort of lose that confidence in it in a way, and the more things change with it and the way that you adapt it. And all you got to take from it is go back to that first feeling when you got that first initial idea, that first seed, and remember the amazing feeling that you got from it and thought, wow, I could really take this and run with it. The bottom line of it is just keep chasing that goal, keep chasing that feeling that you've got inside. Whether you succeed or fail or not, it doesn't really matter. As long as you enjoy the feeling that you get from doing it, that is the biggest thing. No one can actually take that feeling away from you, whether you win or lose. So that's the fundamental of it.
If I was to speak to this person now, I would say, don't ever try and change yourself for what you think somebody wants, because at one stage in your life you will find somebody who wants to be with you for you, and there's no rush at all to have children, to start a family. And like you said, you are young, and I think with today's day and age of social media and influences, all we see is what we should look like, and it's not real. And you've got to have the self-confidence within yourself. If you do want to change your weight, that it should be within a healthy lifestyle choice, and not just because you think that's what somebody wants. And if you don't want to lose any weight, if you're happy with the way you look, then that's absolutely fine, because somebody will come along who will love you for you, and that's all that anybody wants. But you have to have the self-confidence within yourself to know that you're good enough.
I'm a firm believer in everyone's journey is different, and there's no right or wrong way to be living your life. And by that I mean, just because your stepbrother and your brother have both moved out doesn't mean that you have to at this current moment in time. Your time will come when you eventually move out and you do get a mortgage and you are living independently. But just because your brother and your stepbrother have now, or by a certain age, doesn't mean that that's the right age that you have to move out at. If they've moved out at 30, it doesn't mean that you have to move out at 30 as well. Or if they've moved out at 16, it doesn't mean you have to move out at 16. There is no right or wrong. And as for still so many adventures that you want to go on before you get a mortgage, seeing the world is it's an amazing thing to do, and if you want to do that, then pursue it. Obviously it's going to take a lot of money, and with that money you could have a mortgage, but if that's what you want to do, then go out and do it. Like I say, there's no timeline in which you have to live your life. You don't have to do this by a certain age, you don't have to do that by a certain age. It's when you want to and what feels right, and when it feels right for you.